When I first started trading, Fibonacci was a game changer. So watch my reaction to this popular strategy video and let's see if it holds up.
So step one is to figure out what time frame do we want to trade on, and are we in a trend that we can use with Fibonacci's? Because you're looking for a Fibonacci strategy, right? Fibonacci allows us to time entries during drawdowns or pullbacks within a trend. So we are looking for those. The first thing we need to figure out is what time frame and are we in a trend? So the first thing, I'm trading Bitcoin here, Bitcoin trends, so we can figure out where are we in the trend. The best way to do that is to look at Bitcoin halvings, 4-year cycles. For about 6 months before the halving and 1 year after the halving, we are in general uptrending markets. Okay, so we're in an uptrend if we're in that period.
I like what he's saying about Fibonacci. In this particular case, you want to make sure that you're going with the direction of the momentum. Now, he's using the Bitcoin halving as far as momentum, but I do like that because when I'm trading with Fibonacci, measuring pullbacks and price targets, I'm always going in line with the momentum or the higher money.
From there, all we have to do is figure out what time frame are we trading on, and can we use Fibonacci to actually identify pullbacks within those uptrends. So that's step one. I'm going to be trading on the 1 week chart. If you're a beginner, I think this is better. If you're trading lower time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour, it's very noisy and you're going to get chopped to bits by algorithms and, billion-dollar hedge funds that are trading. Let's go on the 1 week, make it simple, and we can trade this trend. Step two is to draw the Fibonacci retracement on our chart. I'm using my trading system, which is Bybit. You can use TradingView, which is great and free, or your trading system. So I'm going to leave a link to Bybit in the description. They give a deposit bonus for new users up to $30,000. So if you do trade, you can check out the link below to Bybit and some of the other exchanges that I use. On the left-hand side, we're going to go to the Fibonacci retracement tool, and then we're going to draw it on our chart. How to draw a Fibonacci retracement? We go from the low to the high of an expansion. So this is very clearly a low and a high right here.
All right, one thing I want to mention about the Fibonacci, it's a ruler, all right? You can measure anything you want with it. You can go from low to high or high to low, depending on if you're looking to calculate the pullbacks, support and resistance zones or areas of which you believe price will go to, or price target. So there's no right or wrong way to use it, all right? I just want to make that clear.
We have the high, which got rejected. This is the start of that move, right? The big move up to a new high and then a rejection. So that is the move that we are plotting the Fibonacci retracement on. So Fib retracement, we're going to go from this move right here to the low wick, all the way up to the high wick right here. Now, if you want to know my settings and what Fib settings to use, I'll just go to settings here. This is it. These are the key levels for me. Some people use others, but these are very simple and really plot the key levels for Fibonacci retracements. So you can screenshot that and see my levels here and the colors and the trend lines. You can also see background here. I'll just turn off background, press OK. So this is the level right here. Now I've plotted this as a trend from low to high. And as you can see, when we do get this drawdown, we are coming into these Fib retracement levels. So the first level, we hit it many times. We actually wick down right here into the second level. So immediately, if we're trading these levels, we're already getting entries on these pullbacks. Fibonacci retracements is a way to plot drawdowns within uptrends. So yes, at the start of this uptrend, you would have been better just to have gotten in early and rode the trend. That's not what this tool helps us do. It helps us identify areas where a expansion has topped out and will retrace a certain amount. So we get the top of the move, we plot that, and then this gives us eventually where a potential drawdown may.
All right, so a lot of people probably wondered then, hey, that's fine, but where do you enter? So in this particular video, he's looking at these levels. You can place limit orders at these levels. So you can say, hey, look, from low to high, and it's not confirmed to high until it rolls over. You can draw that Fibonacci, and then you can place a limit order, for example, at that 0.38 or 0.618. So that's one way. Now, he hasn't said it yet, but I do like to place limit orders at these Fibonacci levels. So let's keep rolling.
May get to. So from here, how do we input orders? There's a few ways to do this. You can see I've got 3 retracement levels here, right? So the first one is to place limit orders at each of these 3 levels. If your entire order is 100%,
exactly what we just said,
put a third of the order as limit orders here. Another way to do it is just to put 50% of the order at the top, another 50% second down, and assuming that because Bitcoin is in an uptrend, a big drawdown to this level may be unlikely. It's up to the individual, right? You could put 100% of your order at the 0.5 drawdown. It's really up to the individual about how you feel, how eager you are to get into the market. These are actually entry levels for a Fibonacci retracement. So I wouldn't be putting any stop losses in around these levels, but you can put a stop loss in at some area below that that would essentially invalidate your trade, right?
So do you understand what he's talking about, right? You're drawing the flag, and in this particular case, that's the flag pole. As soon as it starts to roll over, he's drawing the Fibonacci levels, the 0.38, the 5, the 0.618, placing limit orders at those spots. Now, what he said was you don't want to place your stop loss inside those zones. No, because those are entry points. You want to place your stop loss below that 0.618. Give it some room, all right? Give it some area to breathe, but do not place your stop loss in those add zones. Place it underneath the 0.618. So I like what he's saying, and I've been trading, like I said, for a long time, and it makes sense to me.
So if you got a drawdown to the previous levels, that indicates a major drawdown and a potential reversal. So I would put this at some level below this entry point. So let's say 10 or 20% below, something like that. That would definitely be a huge drawdown and something's gone wrong. You got in at these levels, you want to get out. So you would put a stop loss in somewhere around this level. Again, you don't have to be too accurate, maybe a round number, 46,000, something like that. These are the limit orders that we can put in, or the places that we can trade. These would be normal drawdowns within uptrends for Bitcoin. Now we can use the Fib extension tool to give ourselves a potential exit price for this trade. So we've used the retracement tool for our buy limit orders around these prices. You would have got some or all of your order in here. The extension tool is going to give us potential areas. So trend-based Fib extension, draw it in the exact same way. This price level, first touch, second touch up at the same price here. And then the third one, we just go across to draw out the line. I use these levels, which is the same as the retracement. Many other people may use some others. I think these are great. So I'm going to go to settings here just to show.
All right, so you see what he's doing right now. He did the reverse. Now he's using a different tool there, Fib extension, to project those price targets. But the same numbers that he used, you're going to see here in a second, it looks to me like he's using those exact same numbers. Because like I said earlier, Fibonacci can be used for entry levels, support and resistance, but then for target projections.
Show you, this is what I'm using. And that's that. So now we have potential extensions where a uptrend may continue to. So again, it's up to the individual. Do you want to place 3 sell orders to take profits at these levels? Do you want to look at the right-hand side and say, I think this price, this area is pretty good to get out, so put some limit orders in there and get all of your trade done? Do you want to just get out a little bit early and take some profits here? That's up to the individual. These are the 3 areas that I would look to. We can also do some price analysis ourselves. Look to the right-hand side. We're getting up into the 90 to 100,000 area, which is obviously going to have a huge amount of resistance up here because 100 is just such a key level that many people will be taking profits at. 6-digit Bitcoin. So you have a lot of volatility here, getting rejected, maybe moving through. So it's up to the individual about how long you want to be in the trade, what you're doing, and how you want to take risk. That would be an area. So we can go to limit. And if you're trading futures, and your price in here. Now, what Fib can't tell us is fundamentals. Is something going to happen in the market? Is there some news that comes out? Whatever. That's going to drive the price. Fib can't tell us that. So we have to still rely on fundamentals and understanding where we are in the market and a lot of news flow and everything like that to dictate our bias.
All right, it's very important that you cannot just solely rely on the fibs. Just because it has that price target doesn't mean it has to hit there, right? We've got news and different things you can see right here, the Bitcoin halving, all this stuff comes into play. So when these technical analysts like myself, we give you these projections, these are zones or areas based on information at the time, right now, okay? Things can change really quickly in this market, so be mindful.
Positively biased, do we think we're still in a bull market? Or do we think that a downtrend or a bear market is going to actually commence? That's not going to help us because FIB is trend-based. So if we're going into a bear market, FIB's not going to work. It's just not going to work. This gives us some specific entries, but we still need to use our research and our analysis of the market to tell us, are we in an uptrend and are we going to continue in that uptrend?
All right. Now, fibs can work in a down market. You would just reverse it. If you're trading the downside, they would work. All right. So overall, I like the strategy, the Fibonacci. It's a basic introduction of how to trade it. Just remember, when we're right, let's say it's an uptrend. Price is going up. You can use the Fibonacci to measure pullbacks. You got the different zones. You can scale in, or you can put all, your trade in at one of the levels. I like to scale in personally. If you're going to use stop losses, then make sure you're below that 618. I do like that. And then for price targets, you flip it around. You can use that extension tool, or you just take the same Fibonacci and reverse it to measure out the levels, put your limit orders and all that. Overall, the strategy is great. I actually use this strategy all the time. I like to scale in trades. I like to use the Fibonacci to calculate my price targets. Just always keep in mind of what's going on fundamentally, right? In this case, the Bitcoin halving is over, but there's news items every single day. So set your targets. If you use stop losses, set your stop losses and make sure that you are being careful and controlling your risk and position sizing properly. Now, if you're interested in learning how to trade this crypto market or any of the indicators or softwares that I use to track the big money, check down below in the description. And if you like XRP, click right here.